If there's one genre the Wii is known for, it's definitely light gun games. There's a lot of light gun games for the Wii. There's some really good ones, and there's also some really weird ones too. You've got some really good ones like Resident Evil Dark Side Chronicles, Sin and Punishment Star Successor, Dead Space Extraction, and of course you have Ghost Squad, which is what we're going to be talking about today. Ghost Squad is a very good game, and not many people I feel like talk about it. I think it's known of, but Ghost Squad definitely doesn't get enough recognition. So I'm here today to discuss a little bit about this game. Ghost Squad is actually an arcade game made by Sega that was made in 2004 in arcades. However, the Wii version, developed by Polygon Magic, we got this game in 2007. There's really not a whole lot to the plot of this game. The Ghost Squad is a top-secret Special Forces unit assembled by the United Nations. GHOST is actually an acronym for Global Humanitarian Operation and Special Tactics, and the elite soldiers execute humanitarian operations throughout the world. In other words, you pretty much just go on missions, saving people like the president, and just kicking some terrorist ass. That's pretty much all there is to it. The controls for this game are very simple. If you played stuff like Time Crisis in the arcade, you'll be right at home with Ghost Squad. Basically, the B button is going to be your most used button. That's just your trigger button that shoots. Then, of course, you got your cursor on screen. You move that with the Wii remote. And then, of course, you have the A button as well. That's your action button, which you'll use that for like little mini sections where you have to do certain things. That's when it comes in handy. And then lastly, you can actually use the control pad, the D-pad, and you can change your shot mode. Shot mode is just the amount of bullets that get fired whenever you hold B. You can either do single, which a single bullet comes out, or 3-round burst, or just go crazy and just hold B the whole time. Now, one thing to keep in mind, though, is you do need to reload if you are getting low on ammo. It's very simple. Just hit B off screen and you'll immediately reload. A quick side note is this game is also really fun if you have the Wii Zapper, which you can put the Wii remote and the nunchuck in. Elevates the gameplay a little bit more fun that way. As far as the display goes, you really don't have much. You got your life gauge at the top, which is pretty obvious. Then you got your GS meter, and that's whenever you can find upgrades throughout these levels. And when you fill it all the way up, you pretty much maximize your weapon. Then, of course, you have the score at the top, which, of course, this being a light gun, arcade-style game, you're going to have a score system. As well as it shows what part of the level that you're on at the top as well. There's a total of 3 missions in the entire game. Yeah, it doesn't sound like a whole lot of content, and, I mean, it really isn't. But the good thing about this game that distinguishes it from the others is when you play these missions, you actually have multiple different paths that you can take. What's really just different about each one you do is sometimes it's an easier path, sometimes it's a harder path. The good thing about playing this your first time is you don't really know what to expect next, so it really does increase the replay value a bit to play through the game multiple times. There are some items that you can pick up along the levels. You can get first aid kits, high cap magazines, armors, medals for experience, compensators for accuracy of machine gun shots, and a dot sight. Well, that'll help you out with aiming. The end of the mission does have a boss, and whenever you fight that boss, you actually have to use a different weapon, like a rocket launcher, and you got like a little time limit, and you gotta beat him in that time limit. If you do happen to fail the time limit, then you'll get a mission failed screen with the game over as well behind it, and you'll have to restart the whole mission again just to get to that boss you were at. Of course, if you beat the mission, if you win or lose against the boss, it'll show you your score, how you did, as well as it also shows you the rooms that you went through and stuff. There's a little bit of gameplay variety in this game too. You can actually do a sniper rifle section in a couple levels, and that's pretty fun. And then you can also do a quick time event with if you have to use the action button to hit the fists to block their knife or attack. That's actually kind of tough, I thought, but pretty interesting. There's really not any other game modes. All you really have is training and party, and you can actually go to options too, by the way, to modify your difficulty setting. Party mode is pretty much just arcade mode, just up to 4 players, and I played with my friend on this, and yeah, we had a lot of fun doing it. It's actually a little bit easier too when you have someone else. I don't know if the difficulty goes up with the bosses or not whenever you're playing with another person, but the game for sure is a little easier when you have 2 or more people just shooting at stuff. Ghost Squad's a pretty cheap game. You can get this game complete in box for roughly around $8. I'd say there's a lot of copies of this game, and hopefully it'll never go up in the future even more than that, so more people can play it. I definitely recommend Ghost Squad, though, for the Wii. It's a pretty short game. If you got like 30 minutes to an hour to kill, and you just want to play something pretty quick and kind of fun and arcadey at home, I definitely recommend Ghost Squad. Of course, there's a ton of light gun shooters on the system, and I don't think Ghost Squad's the best one by any means, but it's definitely worth having in your collection if you're a collector, or if you just like to play rail shooting video games. I hope everybody enjoyed the video. If you really like this video, make sure to give it a like. If you want to say something in the comments, make sure to give a comment. And of course, if you want more content like this in the future, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks again everybody for watching. Take it easy.